Everyone, are you ready for some more greeting card ideas? Today I'm going to be discussing some simple cuts and some cards with windows in them. Let me show you what I mean. Here I have some samples. You can see how this has a scalloped edge cut on it. It's really super easy to do, and you can turn your card landscape or portrait. Now here's one with a fancy little scallop that goes all the way around it. These cards that I'm showing you now are pre-cut cards that you can purchase in the store, which makes them super duper easy. And these little windows are something that you can cut at home as well, and I'm going to show you how. Look at this fancy one. So many different ideas. You can even get them in different colors. Here's one that's got a little crown shape. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let me show you how they come in a little package of 8, and they have the card that's already pre-punched along with envelopes, and you can pick those up at a lot of your local arts and crafts stores, or you can order them offline. Now you can even turn it around backwards so that the window is on the opposite side if you don't like where they are because they're all white. Alright, so let's talk about making your own. Here's how you do it. First, we're going to get out our little cutter, and we're going to use several different tools you can buy in the craft store or online. This is just a paper cutter, and I've put in here an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, pretty standard here in the USA, and I'm going to cut it in half. And that creates two card bases for me. So we're going to do that on the second one here, cutting this in half at the landscape. And after we finish cutting, we're going to score and fold our card bases. I'm using my score pile today, and on the score pile, the 4 1/4 mark, which is the halfway mark for these card bases, is already shown here, so it makes it super easy for me to just put my paper in here, glide my bone folder down that edge, and we got her done. So after all of these have been scored, I'm going to go ahead and use the bone folder to just crease those really good. Now let's dig out some tools to make some fancy edges. Here I've got some scissors that have cuts in them with little curves and scallops. You can buy these at a lot of department stores too, not just craft stores, and I like this one a lot. I think this is the one I'll use. So for this card, what I do when I'm using a decorative scissor is I line the outside of my scissor up to the outside of the card, and then I cut so that each scallop is kind of guided by the scallop I just cut before. So my cuts come out even like this one here. Okay, so there's one. Let's see what else we can do to make some creative cuts in the card. Here's some punches that you can also pick up. They make a really giant hole or a window in your card. I say giant, I mean it takes up quite a bit of space on your card. You can buy them in different sizes. These are this is a small and a medium. You can actually get them even larger than this. Also, to make some edges, you can purchase edge punches, and this will make this decorative edge that you see here. And you can run that all along the edge of your card. So there's a couple more options you can look at. Okay, so I'm going to use this round punch, this smaller one of mine, to create a hole in this card for ornaments. You can do it landscape, portrait, whatever you want. Just think about it beforehand. Now I could cut it like this, but I can't really see where that circle is going to go. So I'm going to turn my punch upside down, and that way I can see exactly where the circle is going to punch out. We'll press it here, and that's exactly where I want it. So that's now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the circle out that I punched, and I'm going to use that as a guide to draw two more circles on this card front, and these will be ornaments on the card when I'm finished. So I'm going to lay this down here and just use it as a guide to trace around it and make another ornament, and then we'll do this one more time so I have 3, each at a different height on my card. And then I want that circle that I cut out, I'm going to use the inside of the card. I'm going to draw another one, so I'm going to use a pencil to do that. Just like that. If I had used a pen, it would have made a mark on the outside of my card that I didn't want. So we'll set that aside. We'll do another one with the larger circle punch. And I think this card will go portrait, and I'll use this to do 2 ornaments on this one. So let's see, we need to pencil in that circle that we just drew for the inside of the card, and then Here we go. You'll see how this all comes together at the end if you can't envision it here. Okay, so now let's use a border punch. And these come in all different styles, and they have these little grid marks on them to help guide you so that you can cut it along. Some people start right here on the edge. I like to start in the middle. So I'm going to set my punch up so it starts anywhere I want to here in the middle. And then we're going to slide this off to one side. Isn't that pretty? It's got a little bit of an embossing mark on this one too. So we slide it until that edge matches up to the guide that's on the punch, and your punch will come with instructions to show you how to do that. Then I'll go at the other end and line it up just right and punch that one, and you'll see I have this really pretty little scalloped edge, very decorative. So that will make a pretty card, I think. Now, through the magic of YouTube, I'm going to fast forward here and show you some of the cards that I've done some sketching on already. This was that scalloped circle. You can open it left to right, or you could turn it this way and go top to bottom. And I've made a little wreath-looking shape on here. This is what it looked like after I colored it. It's ready to go. And then here's another one that I did a pattern on. And here again, you can open it top to bottom, or you could turn it sideways and go left to right, putting the greeting right here in the center. And then when you open it, I could put like a little scallop over here that matches it and write my little greeting in the middle. So which way did I go? I decided to go top to bottom on this one, and here's what it looked like when I was finished with the card. This is done with colored pencils. You can see the top front of it. I still need to add a greeting to it, and then the inside also. Now, how about those that I created myself? Well, here they are. Let me show you what I did. On this first one, I wanted that pretty decorative scalloped edge that I punched out to really show up. So I lined this card with some white cardstock, which all I did was just cut the same side cardstock and then attached it to the inside. And you can see here it's ready for a greeting to be added also. That really makes the white on the scalloped edge show up against that red. I liked that. Here's the other one that I did with a scalloped edge. This is the one I cut out with the decorative scissors. And you can see here I just added some pattern along the bottom. I went with a non-traditional color. I like doing pastels and non-Christmassy colors on mine. Here's one that I did with the small circle punch. My 3 ornaments you can see I drew out here and colored in. Then I added some pretty bows using some little decorative ribbon and a different one on the one that's on the inside. Now on the back of this one, I just let those strings from the ornaments hang over on the opposite side. On the right hand bottom corner, I'll put a little stamp that says handmade by Cindy. Then here is that last one that I punched out. This was the one with the medium size circle punch, and again I went with some ribbon. This is silver sparkly ribbon. It's really pretty. And you can see how the bow on the front of the ornament that was on the left side, then it shows through the window. And I thought that looked really cute there. Season's Greeting is the stamped image I put on the corner of this one. Now here's some others that I did that are not Christmassy, but they're ready for me to just add some greetings to using my rubber stamps probably. Happy birthday, thank you, anything goes here. And some close-ups of those Christmas cards again for you. So whether you're making Christmas cards or greetings for other occasions, think outside the box, do some punching, hole punching and some decorative edging, and add your wonderful doodles to it. I think you'll really like what you come up with. Visit lineweaving.com and rainbowelephant.com for more great ideas.